Hey everyone, Jonathan here from Wild Cockatiel Games, and welcome to the second devlog of Zombie Barrel Blast. Let's jump right in and take a look at what's new. Okay, so this is Zombie Barrel Blast as it exists right now in its current form. And there's three things that I want to go over with you today that I've been working on in the game. The first is parallaxing, the second is camera movements, and the third is boosters. Now, the first one, parallaxing, if you don't know what this is basically the illusion, giving a 2D game the illusion of depth to make it look a little bit more like it's a 3D game. So for instance, you can see that the clouds are moving in the background over here, but this is just an auto move. This isn't actually parallaxing. Parallaxing is what happens when I launch the player from one of these barrels, and watch all the backgrounds. You can see that the backgrounds sort of move along with the camera movements, but they're all moving at different paces. And the grass here, this foliage on the top and this foliage on the bottom, is in the foreground, so it's moving a lot faster than all the stuff in the background because it's closer to the camera. And this is just a really simple but really effective way of giving depth to a two-dimensional game. And let's just take a look back here at the previous version of the game where there's no parallaxing involved, and you can see that as the player is moving forward, it really looks a lot more stale, a lot more stagnant. But now we go back here to this current version of the game and we shoot forward and everything just slides along, and it really adds a lot of depth and flavor. Now, as a note, if you're interested in learning a bit more about parallaxing, I will be making a tutorial video on my channel, probably next, on how to implement parallaxing into a game. So stick around, subscribe if you want to see more on that. Now, let's go on to the next level and take a look at the camera movements. You could actually see the camera movements taking place in this current version, and when I switched it back there, you could see how they used to look. But let's look at it again. When I blast forward, the camera slides. It's like going on an ice skating rink where it just goes at a very steady pace, versus the previous version of the game, again, and we can look back here where it's static. It's always moving at the same speed. But here we go, and I launched it as B, and we can see the camera slides forward a bit, then it slides backwards. And again, this is just a very simple way of making the game feel more alive. And the faster I go, we can see it slides, I fall off the screen, and now it just zooms back, and it puts me back in place here. It drops me into this barrel, and I can launch and go up here and now clear the level. So the next thing I want to show you is boosters, and this is a great spot here where it spawned me on this level with a pillar in front of me, because I'm going to see that if I launch out of this barrel and into the pillar, it's just going to bonk me backwards. I can't really get past it. I can get past it by shooting above it, but if I was stuck, perhaps, I could open up this menu on the top here, and I could select this third booster option, which I currently have 3 of. And what that does is it transforms this barrel into a gold barrel. And this might just give me a little bit of an edge if I'm stuck, because the gold barrel is going to launch me forward until I land in another barrel, and it can also launch me right through obstacles like pillars. So I can just keep going and going and going, and that just took me right to the end of the level. Really, really nice and easy. But of course, I only have 2 of these boosters left. So this is a way of basically getting yourself out of a tough, tricky situation. And again, if I use another one of these, I can see that I can actually just kill this bee by shooting the bee here. And I'm just going to keep going until I land in another barrel. But what about these other boosters? Well, if I accidentally lose one of my hearts because I make a bad shot, I'm going to get dropped into another barrel. But then I can use this booster here and restore one of my hearts. So that's just an easy way of getting some life back. And of course, I'm losing my boosters here as I'm using them. And if I was to collect a certain number of coins, I could go into the main menu and purchase some more boosters. I haven't actually implemented that shop yet, but that is one of the functions that coins will be used for. And finally, there's this third type of booster here, this is the double jump booster. That's a really loud sound effect. And if I close this, now I see I have 5 double jumps down here. And if I launch out of a barrel, and let's wait till there's a good spot to do it. It wasn't there. But if I was to tap the screen again or hit space, I can see that I'm going to go whoop, and I do a little double jump That actually screwed me over in this case. That was a terrible double jump. But it could potentially give me a bit of a hand if I'm, again, blasting into the wrong spot. So I died there, but maybe if I double jumped, I could have survived. Let's try that again. Whoop, right into this next barrel. And the reason there's a limited number of double jumps is just to make it so it's not too powerful. And there's also going to be an infinite gameplay mode put into the game. And I'm not sure if boosters are going to be allowed in this infinite mode, but if they are, just limiting the number of double jumps that the player is allowed to do before this booster wears off. Make sure that you can't just use a double jump booster at the start of an infinite gameplay mode and just have that throughout the entire thing. That would be way too powerful, so that is just a way of doing that. I also do have another tutorial on my channel on how to launch the player from any direction. So if you're wondering how to code something like this where you're launching from barrel to barrel, I can link that tutorial in the video description. Finally, this is just a bit of some behind the scenes. This is how the game looks when we're not playing it. This game is being made in Unity, but these camera effects are the work of a Unity plugin called Cinemachine, which really gives developers such as myself an easy way of making some really cool camera effects. I'm not using it nearly to the extent that it can be used. It can be used to do cutscenes and all sorts of cool stuff, but my main camera here has this Cinemachine brain on it, and then we have some state-driven cameras, which means that depending on the animation that the player is currently in, it will do different things. So for the most part, I'm just using it to give that extra fluidity to the way the player moves, but yeah, it can really do some cool stuff. So a big shout out to the makers of Cinemachine. It's a great way of just making this game really come alive. Hey guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this devlog entry. If you want to find out more about Zombie Barrel Blast, when it's going to be released, how you can play, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, check the description below the video. There will be a link there to a sign-up form where you can just enter your name and your email, and when the game is ready to play, I'll send out an email blast, and you can be amongst the first to know and to download it and get it on whatever platforms it's available on. Thanks again very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.